Perek Bais Mishna Daled. We've learned that a klei cheres, an earthenware vessels, needs a toich, a receptacle, an inside, to be mekabel tumah. This Mishnah lists 3 types of vessels, 3 types of Keilim, that depending on how they're made, either have a receptacle and therefore it is mekabel tumah, or if it's a different version and it doesn't have a receptacle, then it's not mekabel tumah. Vessel number 1, look at the Mishnah, panos, a lantern. So there's 2 versions of lanterns in those days. Look down here. One lantern, you would just sort of place the cup of oil in the lantern. So this type of lantern is not mekabel tumah, because the walls weren't made to receive anything, or to hold anything. Their function was just to protect the candle from the wind. The lantern doesn't need its walls to hold the cup of oil, so it's not a valid receptacle, and therefore it's not mekabel tumah. However, there was another version of the lantern, that they would have a lip. This lantern would be made with a lip of clay all the way around, so they could just simply place oil inside the lantern, and they would just place a wick in it, and light it up. So this lantern has a base kibul for oil. It was made to hold oil, and therefore this is a valid receptacle and it's mekabel tumah. So let's read it inside. Panos, a lantern, sheyesh bo base kibul shemen, that has a receptacle of oil for oil. Tameh, it's mekabel tumah. Vishe'ein bo, but if it doesn't have a receptacle for oil and it was just used by placing a cup of oil in it, tahor, it's not mekabel tumah, it's tar. Vessel number 2, megufas hayotzrim, the potter's table. So again, there is 2 versions of this vessel. There was the potter's table that they started making the clay vessels on. This type of table didn't have any lip on it, because you didn't want a lip on the table, because you would form the clay with your hands. And if it had a lip, the clay would be harder to work with. However, after they finished making the clay vessels, they would place it on another table. That table had a lip, so that the new vessels wouldn't fall off the table. And since that table had a lip, that potter's table is susceptible to tumah. So let's read it inside. Megufas hayotzrim, the potter's table, shehu poseach ba, that he started working on, tahira, it's tahor, because there's no lip on it. And therefore it's a flat earthenware table, which is tahor. Now I'm not really sure what the chiddush of that halacha is. We've already learnt that flat earthenware vessels are tahor, so I'm not sure what the chiddush is in that. The Mishnah goes on to say, shehu gaimer ba, but the table that he finishes with, which had a lip to keep the vessels from falling off, tameya, is susceptible to tumah. So I'm not sure what the chiddush of that halacha is. Vessel number 2, mashbech shel bali batim, the funnel, a mashbech, a funnel of the house owner. So again, there is 2 versions of the funnel. You had the house owner's funnel, which is tahor, which is not mekabel tumah, because look at a funnel, it's open on both ends. So there's no receptacle, the liquids will just flow right through, and therefore it's tahor, it's not susceptible to tumah. But look on in the Mishnah, v'shel rochlin, but the peddler's funnel, that's tameh. So the peddler's funnel is tameh, it's mekabel tumah, even though it's open on both ends. And there's a machlokas why that's true. We're going to see Rabbi Yehuda ben Beseira's reason. He says that these peddlers would sell small quantities of oil to each customer. So they would have these small little funnels that were designed to hold a specific small quantity, like a lug of oil. And so the peddler would plug up the bottom of the funnel with his finger, and he would then fill the funnel up with oil. And the buyer would place his small little jug, he would place right over here at the bottom of the funnel. And when the peddler removed his finger from the bottom of the funnel, the oil would neatly spill into the small jug. So since it's made to accept liquids in that fashion, it's mekabel tumah. That's enough to deem it a receptacle, because it was used to hold oil like that. So let's read it inside. V'shel rochlin tameh. But the peddler's funnel is tameh, mipnei, because shehu shel mida, because it had a specific measurement by plugging it up with their fingers. Divrei Rabbi Yehuda ben Beseira. These are the words of Rabbi Yehuda ben Beseira. But Rabbi Akiva argues, and he holds the funnel is mekabel tumah even if it doesn't hold a specific amount, a specific measurement. Because the peddlers would use it, they would tilt the funnel on its side so it would hold a little bit of oil or a little bit of wine to have the potential buyers smell its beautiful scent. So that would make the mashbech mekabel tumah, even though it's sort of an awkward base kibul, because you need to tilt the funnel on its side. But since it was commonly utilized in that fashion by peddlers, that's enough, according to Rabbi Akiva, to make it mekabel tumah. So let's read it inside. Rabbi Akiva says, mipnei, because it's mekabel tumah, because shehu mateu al tzido, you would tilt it on its side, umeireach bo lilokeach, so that the buyers would smell its beautiful scent. And that's enough to deem it a receptacle. So now you have to go read the Mishnah now.